I finally made it, and it was the deepest, loneliest moment of my life. Hello, gals, and welcome to Sobriety Snippets for 40 plus ambitious women, where we help you quit drinking with confidence, build unshakable self trust, and lead a life that turns heads in business, health, and beyond. I'm Becca Jacobson, and I'm so honored to have you here with me in Snippet Land. If you're new around here, welcome aboard, my dear. You've now entered the Snippet ecosystem, and you're in for a treat because this really is an amazing place to be if you're a 40 plus woman, ambitious about your life, building a career, a business, and a life that is meaningful and something you're proud of. But I want to ask you something. Are you feeling fulfilled? Are you feeling fulfilled around all of this? Here is what happened to me. I want to share a story with you today. I was, of course, very unfulfilled in my early years. I'm not going to go on and on about the early years, but let's just get a little bit of background here. From the age of 18 to 32, I was a prostitute. That's just what happened, okay? There's a long story behind it. My mom was a prostitute. It's an interesting story. I mean, honestly, if you're interested, I wrote a book on it. I wrote my memoirs, but I don't want to focus there today. What I want to talk about is obviously those years were unfulfilling. We don't need to talk about that. But because I was so unfulfilled, I naturally thought, well, what will be fulfilling? Well, accomplishing something in my life. I am, despite the fact that I was a prostitute for 13 years, I've always been ambitious. Let's just say I was a damn good prostitute. But I've always wanted to do something with my life. And that is actually one of the things that made those years so painful and difficult for me. I knew I didn't belong there. I knew it wasn't for me. But between the alcohol, the drugs, and the environment that I was in, right, growing up in that environment, I felt very, very stuck. Anyway, I finally made my escape in my early 30s. And I knew I needed fulfillment, I needed accomplishment, I needed to feel good about myself. And I also knew that I could. I knew that I could step up to life and build something I could be proud of because that's what I felt inside my heart. And so what did I do? I decided I'm going to go to college and then I'm going to go to grad school and then I'm going to get a good career. I'm going to get a career I can be proud of, even though I come from a working class family. If you want to call prostitution working class, well, that counts, doesn't it? Not all of us were prostitutes, working class. Okay, my point is that I come from a family that's not a group of people that goes to higher education, but I did it. I did it. And not only did I do it, but I did it in the face of addiction throughout all those years. Because what happened was I thought that going to college and starting to step up in life would help me get sober, but the fact is it didn't. That's not how this works, and we'll talk more about that in a second. So what I did was I dragged my addiction with me into university, into grad school, and then into my career. So if you've been around Snippet Land at any length of time, you know that. You know that it didn't help. It did not solve my addiction problem. All it did was change the way I drank. I had to drink differently in order to get through college, in order to get through grad school, in order to become an English professor. And then to show up at my career, I had to drink differently. So there I was. I had done it. I had checked all the boxes. I had done something no one in the history of my family had ever done. People couldn't believe it. Becca is a college professor. It was mind blowing. And it was the emptiest, most loneliest, most unfulfilling era of my life. I stayed in that career for 20 years, and it was completely and utterly desolate. Desolation is the word that I can think of here. I didn't know it. I just kept thinking, well, maybe fulfillment's over here, maybe it's over there, but I couldn't stop the drinking alone at night, weekends, in secret, the whole thing. What happened, was when I went from prostitution into my career, my drinking just went underground. Obviously, I couldn't show up the same in the world in those two different lives. This is me living two completely different lives. And the truth is, I'm now in my third life. I've gone from college professor to online podcaster and coach. So I've lived 3 very different lives in the 59 years I've been on this planet. And the only time that I've felt fulfillment is the last 5 years. The only time I felt fulfilled is the last 5 years, and I've been sober for 7. So let's talk about that. The first 2 years of my sobriety were not fulfilling. In fact, they were incredibly difficult because I couldn't find a sobriety path built for me. I was thrown into 12-step rooms. I was thrown in with counselors. One of my counselors, I ended up getting drunk with him and going to bed with the guy. I mean, it was insane. I have a very, just another story in my life. So the first 2 years, I realized getting sober actually doesn't fulfill you either. So then the question becomes, well, then where the hell is fulfillment? Where is it? Oh my God, 2 years I haven't drank and I'm still empty. I'm still lonely. I'm still isolated. I'm still looking for fulfillment. I'm kicking ass in my career now because I'm sober. I'm still at the college. I'm still teaching. I had the title, the paycheck, the reputation, and at night I drank alone, wondering if this was all life had for me. Success on paper, desolation in my soul. So it's like, oh my God, when does the joy come? When does the peace come? When do we get that feeling inside of that I was craving my whole life? It's an emptiness inside I tried to fill with alcohol. I tried to fill it with success. I tried to fill it with accomplishment. And none of that worked, none of it. And then 5 years ago, I started discovering the answer. I couldn't find someone to lead me there, so I had to figure it out for myself. Luckily, that's what I'm like. Like you, my dear, I am a person who doesn't sit down and let life just happen. So I thought, okay, screw this. I'm 2 years sober. I can't find the path to make me satisfied. Then I'm going to create one for women like us. And then I changed the direction of my searching. And I found out what we do need inside in order to feel fulfilled. Yes, it begins with putting down the bottle. Of course, we have to stop drinking in silence and secret. Of course, we have to get sober. We have to turn around and face life. But then I discovered once we do that, the steps that we need to take, us, accomplished women who want to do things with our lives, what we need to do to feel fulfilled in sobriety and continue to build the lives that we want to build. So I moved away from being a college professor, moved into this work, started the podcast, started coaching other women, and the whole time grew. I grew and grew and grew, and I learned how to fill that my soul with what it was craving. And that was partly connection with other women like me. I never connected with women. You can't connect with women when you're hiding. If you're out there and you're building a business or a career and you're secretly drinking, I tell you right now, you have very weak relationships because you're hiding. How many people in your life know, except for barring perhaps your immediate family, the people in the house with you? And I've even met women where that even then they don't even know that's how secretive they are. But you're not having deep, real friendships with other women. You're not, because you're hiding the alcohol. You also haven't reconciled your past. You haven't come to terms with something inside of you has not been healed. Something inside of you is waiting to be nurtured. There's healing that has to happen. We have to heal the past. We have to find out who we are, which is we do through identity work. And we have to build our future selves and build a relationship with our future selves. All of this is what I discovered in the last 5 years. And all of this is what I help women to do. And the result of it is that we not only get to build the lives that we want to build, the successes that we crave, because we don't have to, just because success alone doesn't fill that void, doesn't mean we don't want it. It is part of the journey, absolutely. You think I don't want to be successful? I do. I love it. I want my show to be successful. I want my coaching to be successful. I'm still very ambitious, but ambition alone cannot fill that void inside of us. So if you've got this veneer on the outside and you've got the drinking going on in secret, I know for a fact that you're a very lonely woman. And I have built the exact path to bring you to wholeness, to bring you to integrity, where you're not split in two, and to help you heal the past, connect with your future self, and stand up in the moment, the present. You see, I call my program the Perspectives Experience because we look at the past, the present, the future, and we also change our entire perspective on ourself, our relationships, our success, in addition to changing our perspective on the past, the present, and the future. Of course, this is all mindset work, isn't it? But it's deeper than just mindset. It's real, true internal healing that goes right to the core of us. And when we heal that core, we don't need the wine anymore. So, gals, I built the path for you. It's right here waiting for you. And I'm just can't wait to meet you and show you that path. And if you're ready, I am doing a 3-day intensive, just for you. And it starts on Friday. Yeah, this Friday, June 20th. And we're going to meet the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. We'll start on Friday. We're going to wrap it up on Sunday. It's called the Unstuck Intensive, and it's just for women like you. And I'm going to tell you all about everything I just shared. I'm going to show you how to fill that void, how to let go of the secret drinking, and how you can heal in the coming months. No, my dear, I can't heal you in 3 days, but I can show you. I can take everything I've just spoken about here and show you how you can take the next few months and start your healing journey. That's what the Unstuck Intensive is all about. And all you got to do is come and join me. You don't have to keep figuring this out in isolation. I did it for you. And that's exactly why I created the Unstuck Intensive. It's a 3-day experience, as I said, where it's happening June 20th through 22nd. It's just for you, high-performing, heart-led women who are ready to stop pretending and start leading from truth. That void you're feeling doesn't have to be there. We're not talking surface level fixes. We're talking identity, energy, sobriety, and realignment. And we're doing it together in real time in a room with other women who get it. If you're ready, you'll know. Join me by going to recoveringwithbecca.com/unstuck, or just go to the show notes and tap the link. I would love to see you there. Gals, I figured this out for you so you don't have to do it, because I know from experience there's nothing else out there for women like us. See you there, babe, and also see you tomorrow. Thanks for popping in. Be sure to come back tomorrow so we can keep your head on straight. Sending you buckets of love.